Guten von Morgen, Fräulein. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Mach schnell. Hello once again, and welcome back to another curiously annoying, haphazard production, undoubtedly, with what I've been doing. What are you doing now, Lance? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, boy? Well, I am doing what I consider to be my profession. If you look at the certificate that I have been sent by the Department of Homeland Security, on that certificate, it says three important words. It says professionalism, it says commitment, and it says standards. Now, the standards are standards of excellence in that the level of training, once again, I've taken is 52. I completed a series of training procedures for FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, and mitigation, which makes me a mitigation specialist. Well, what makes a man a specialist is not just reading a bunch of manuals and passing a bunch of tests. It has to do with a lot more than that, things that are unseen. Like when you look at my certification, it says FEMA very straightly across the certification. However, what's missed is the Department of Homeland Security is the seal just above FEMA. So who actually sent me that certification? Why was I sent a certificate of achievement? And that is the Department of Homeland Security, so that I can activate during national state of emergency on my oath, obligation, and level of training to do the best I can to mitigate emergencies across the nation for the good of the people and the security of our nation and way of life. Well, now nation has turned worldwide. This isn't just happening in our nation. As you well know, this is happening all across the world. Yeah, that's my morning coffee. And I also have coffee. So yes, I have a certificate for it, medical marijuana card, and use it. I have severe pain. I have severe pain in the shoulder right here, constant. I have severe pain in my left hip, constant. You don't hear me whining about it. You're going, ouch, ooey, because of the fact that I've been putting up with it for years and mitigating that emergency with the best stuff on the planet. So, what am I doing? What are you doing? Aside from informing people, which, people know too much. They saw a news program, or they saw a special, or they gained some form of attitude or idea, and have decided that they know more, so much more, than somebody who has 52 levels of federal emergency management training. So much more than I. They know that because they've convinced themselves that without any training at all, they know everything. And this is wearing on a person's nerves, mine, of course, because of these minor details and people telling me what FEMA can and cannot do. Well, they're telling me? Okay, maybe they should just clam it up and listen to the facts for a little bit and find out what FEMA can and cannot do, like supersede the Constitution in every way, shape, and form, to basically throw it out with the bathwater and do whatever the hell they want, hold you as long as they want for no reason whatsoever. The Bushes took care of that back in, 9/11. And, for their devious and seedy reasons. And so all of this has culminated for me has come together for me into an undeniable truth and ability that very few people actually can take advantage of. The very few people are the few that actually know what I'm talking about. I've actually gone through any level of federal emergency management mitigation training because they, after just taking one or two of those exams, and most sheriffs I've talked to are somewhere in level 4 or 7, because they have other manuals to train in. They have other training that they need to accomplish and achieve and pass it concerning their functions in a community. Whereas my functions are out of the box, outside of the lines. I pay for everything on mine. I don't accept or collect any money from the government, aside from my Social Security payments, which are actually 1/4 of what they owe me, in my humble opinion, in relation to what they've taken from me. So I'm not going to complain about that. I am going to give information to you that hopefully will, get you more akin and aligned and tuned up to what's really going on around here. The globalization that's happening, the 1% that's giggling about all of the little seedy moves that they're pulling off, like setting pallets of bricks around in strategic locations, like setting stacks of furniture to be burned. You know what? The good people, the smart people of our nation are getting smarter. I see it. Because as the Facebook post I posted, the one dark-skinned gentleman, I don't like using the word black. I think that's just bigoted to just say that. And Black Lives Matter, that organization was created to inspire bigotry more than anything. Just FYI. Going into that whole Black Lives Matter is falling into the brainwashing and the conditioning that we need to subvert. We need to change these weird attitudes. And as I was mentioning, there was a good man who stood up, he saw the bricks, he took out his phone, and he posted, "Look at these bricks. They were set here by a gray van and a guy in a mask, and they were put here for us to begin anarchy." And he goes, "I'm not going to let anybody touch these bricks." And yes, that's the idea, guys. That's the idea. And if you had a crowd of people, a happy mob surrounding police departments and saying, "We're not going to allow this anarchy. We're not going to allow this mindset of brainwashing to set in. We are going to subvert that. We are going to undermine the underminers." And that's my objective and what I am doing. But as I've mentioned, so many people think they know so much more because they read a book, because they saw a special, because they believe in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is owned by the 1%ers. All of the lists and information that you see in the mainstream media is written down for these newscasters just to push one side or the other, whether it's bigotry or anti-government or anti-police to the people. Be aware of the insanity that they are spreading amongst our people, and be smarter than that. Look at it for what it is and say, "I ain't falling for that crap. I'm smarter than that. I'm going to rise above it." We as a people need to rise together. We need to stay together. We need to have the mindset that we care about each other. This whole, the subversive, okay, here's one of the subversive moves I just saw, and I don't watch a lot of mainstream because I haven't got the time. I'm setting up unbelievable numbers of things right now, and busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, guarantee. However, one of these productions that I saw was a young black man, a good-looking guy, speaking and singing a song about how great it is to be black. And once again, it's in one way fortifying for the community, the mindset, fortifying and stabilizing the mindset of the black and white differentiation. And in another way, it's really pissing off a lot of people that aren't of a darker color, because it's like, oh, they're always pushing this and pushing this toward this direction or that direction because a white guy killed a black guy. Well, I got one for you. The police officer, the vicious, slimy demon, and his four cohorts who weren't white at all, technically white, Chinese and another Caribbean and another Asian individual. Yeah, they apparently, what the inside story is that the check cashing scheme or scam that had been incurred in the beginning, it started out in the nightclub, and as the officer soon to be dead, hopefully, as he was taking in the arrest on Mr. Floyd, pretty sure Floyd was going, "You're in on this too, man. You're busted too. You take me down, you're taking yourself down," and thus the execution, public execution. They were in on the check cashing scams together. That's the inside info I got on it. So now I'm giving it to you. And it seems like every time I post a video, and I mean every time, that has new information that you haven't heard, suddenly it starts scrolling across the screen within about 3 minutes on CNN, Fox News, or any of the other brainwashing news techniques. Now, Trump early on was talking about, if you look at some of his earlier speeches, he was saying what is going on with this 1% controlling everybody. You know, everybody being the higher ups in the CIA, FBI, Secret Service, Special Ops, and Federal Emergency Management, right? So they didn't plan on me, and I'm going to make a huge difference in the world. And yeah, I do this with my hands, so get out of it. Get over it, and let's get on with it. I've given you the information that I want to give you. I had given you an offer that was an amazing offer that I've now rescinded because it is being taken care of by the good people in the North Minneapolis area, in the Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and other areas that could use some help, could use some relief, and could use some compassion and consideration, because just to be blatantly and blindly bigoted about things is part of the brainwashing. Get out of it. Get away from it. Realize that people are people. People want to have good times with their children. They want to go fishing. They want to relax. They want to play video games and smoke weed. I don't care. The important thing is enjoyable, uplifting, happy, and pleasant. That's how people want to be. That's what people enjoy the most about each other. Don't you? I know I do, and I'm having a hell of a good time out here, slapping people in their place. That's been nothing but a giggle for me. Do I have any choice? No, I don't have any choice. You think I could sleep at night with these abilities and my wherewithal and my connections to just lay awake at night? I don't really sleep much. I got work to do. And it's important work, and how much of a difference am I going to make with my little teeny itsy bitsy puzzle piece that I'm putting together amongst this massive situation? Who really gives a rat's ass? What, 20 of you? Out of my 700 subscribers, I might have 50 that actually watch these videos. That gives me a reflection, but that could be a lie set out by YouTube to subvert me and my attitude and reasoning and function. So believe me, guys, I've got dignity, integrity, honor, and valor, and I'm going to use it to help everybody who needs help. And doing good things for good people, and realizing and being compassionate and understanding about people's conditioning throughout their entire lives, and to try to work with that, to speak logically and sensibly, to fortify people's abilities, and try to get them to cooperate instead of to be competitive. So cooperation instead of competition is very important in my world, and for my ability to assist that for people is part of my mitigation process in what I am doing. I take what I do very seriously, and believe me, this ain't no joke. And those certificates I have aren't passed out on Christmas as gifts, and they're not found in Cracker Jack boxes. You got to work for them. You got to earn them. And I did, and now I'm applying that knowledge to help the people and the state of the world. So, like, comment, subscribe. I don't really give a rat's flying patootie. As long as I get at least 20 of you some information, I guess I feel I've done my job. It does get frustrating to the point where I'm ready to stop telling you things. And if I do happen to disappear, fear not for me. I'll be fine. I'm more concerned about people that aren't wearing a swastika, so to speak. That's a metaphor. And I am not going to be targeted. I am impossible to find, and nothing is in my name. I own nothing, and I'm glad with it. I'm happy with it, and I'm content with it. So if I get up millions of dollars, which I'm going to do, I'm going to be applying that to giving it to good people for good reasons so they have good lives. So goodbye. Talk to you soon. Maybe.